Hey there, Russ Vino here, and welcome back to my shop. What? Yes, I changed my intro, but just this one time. I had somebody ask me the other day, how do you pronounce your name? And in a comment, I kind of thought, how the heck am I going to do that in a comment? So I told him I would mention it in my next video. So the last name is Vino, just like Italian and wine. Now, if you're George or from Canada or from France, they pronounce it Vino, I think, or something along that line. It's a little more, it's a little different. But I just pronounce it Vino. And like, even when I was a kid, everybody always called me Vino. Nobody ever called me Russ. I had two brothers and two sisters, went to the same high school, and they all got called by their first name. But for some reason, I was called Vino. What was funny is everybody used to tell me I had the coolest name because my first name was Vino. So anyway, it's pronounced Vino. So much for that. I just wanted to ramble about a couple of things here. And if we talk about names real quick, names are something that I try never to make jokes about a person's name when I'm talking to them. And the reason is that I know I've heard them all for my name. I mean, I've heard about every variation and then some that you could think of. And everybody always thinks it's the first time I've ever heard it. They go, yeah, haha, yeah, that's funny. Never heard that before, but we know. Anyway, I've learned that I really almost never make fun of people's names or try to twist it around. Unless I'm going to call them that as a pet name for forever type of thing. It's because they've already heard all that. So what they don't want to hear that again, and I'm sure you're the same way. So keep in mind, if you're going to make fun of somebody's name, think about it first and say, I bet they've actually heard of that before, even though I just thought of it. So, anyway, so much about names. I know this is a rambling Russ if you haven't figured it out, and we ain't done yet. So, or should I say, I'm nowhere near done yet today. I wanted to bring this back up one more time. I made a couple of little changes. One of the changes I made was I turned the base upside down. So now to hook the screws on the back, you got to lift it up into there to hook it into those screws. So I put a cleat underneath to hold it up. But the reason I did that was it made it more compact, but also getting to the switch to turn it on and off is so much easier than it was. So anyway, and I think this base definitely is going to get some improvement over time. It's fully functional. I'm actually very happy with the way things kind of work right now. And I think that at least I can set it aside for a while. And when I think of it for a while, I'll probably, like I say, come back to this later on this year maybe, or who knows when. So, because it really does scream for a good base. This works in a pinch. It got me started. But that's as far as it's going to go. And by the way, she has a name now. I've seen people out there name their cars and their trucks and all sorts of weird stuff. So I decided all these tools I've had over the years, this is the first time, but this one gets a name. Out. You stop that. Can't turn your back on her either. So, but I decided to call her Medusa. You know who Medusa is? The Greek mythological monster that there was. She's the one that had the hair with all snakes like this. And the other thing is, the rumor about her was that if you looked her in her eyes, she would turn you to stone. Well, this is kind of like that. Whatever you do, don't look in those eyes, because it'll blind you. So I decided Medusa fits. So we're going to start calling her Medusa. So anyway, I'm going to get her out in the corner so you won't have to listen to her anymore. But that's one of the other things I kind of wanted to talk about was Medusa. Also, I wanted to kind of get your advice on one of my projects. Let me show you what I got. I got what I call a portable safe. And this is it. Yeah, it's just an ordinary little 5-liter whiskey barrel made of wood. Now, this in particular is a real inexpensive one that's out there. And it doesn't actually fill the barrel up inside with liquid. It has this bag in there that's connected to the valve here. You unscrew the valve and you fill it up through here, and the bag then swells up in there inside the hole. So I don't think I would ever use this to put fluid in, simply because you could never clean that bag. But I've decided it actually isn't a bad piece of decor, and especially if I turn this into a little safe. So, see there? So all I did was I took and I cut a hole in it and put a door in it. Give me a second, let me grab this. And I put a door that's going to fit right in here now. Cut it out very carefully to get this to fit. I'll take the glass out and probably put a piece of the wood that I cut out so as to match the grain down in here, so it'll have a matching grain. And now I have this nice little safe where you can put stuff and nobody sees. My problem is that if you look down in there, and I don't know whether it's going to be worthwhile to do it or not, because this has really got a lot of space in here. I kind of like it is. But I could take and actually put a floor and sides and a top on it and a back, so it becomes a nice little neat looking cubby hole. But I don't know whether I really should do that or not. First off, it is a little bit more work, and I don't know if it's really worth it, because I'm also losing the amount of space that I can use for storage. But this thing is really great because you can put stuff in here around that you have at home. Things that you want to stash away that you don't want the kids to get into, or you know who. Anyway, whatever you want to do, you can make this as private as you want. And the beauty of it is that when you set it up on the shelf like this, anybody that breaks into your house, if you have anything valuable in here, chances of them finding this as a safe would be pretty slim if they look around trying to find your valuables. So I actually like it. I think it'll make a great little gift. And also, about a couple years ago, I started making some of these. These are kind of dusty, but these are little walnut shot glasses that I made. And I'm going to take these and I'm going to build some kind of saddle thing to sit over this and have all of these. I have 8 of them, and have these all set on both sides right here, so that it'll actually have the little shot glasses with the barrel and everything. I think it'll be a nice little wall safe that when you look at it, you'll think it's just a piece of decor. So I think it's going to work out good. So anyway, this is what I call project number 6. And now you might ask, why do you call that project number 6? Well, that is because this post office door, a couple 3 years ago, I decided that I was going to buy a full amount. I bought 100 of them at one time from somebody that had them. I bought 100 post office doors, and I decided that between then and the end of my life, I'm going to try to make 100 jewelry boxes or any kind of boxes and such using these post office doors. Now, I've already done several boxes, 5 of them to be exact, that all different styles. None of them really look like the one before, and some of them are radically different. I have some that have big drawers in them. I have one that has only 1 or 2 drawers. I have one that has a lift-off lid and it's down in there. Maybe one of these days I'll show you some of the other ones I have. I have one more project that's a lot more work than this one that I'm working on, that's up on the shelf. I just stopped on it for a while because it just wasn't going the way I wanted. But doing post office doors and making little boxes using these doors for a lock area is actually pretty cool. And I've been doing this for years. So, and every time I do one, if I want to get rid of it, sell it, they do sell pretty fast too. So I've seen people take these and make all these banks. And you see everybody making banks all the time. But I use them I go a step further. Out of the box, what can I say? So anyway, I am really curious about whether to build a little cubby hole in there, which would cut down the size of this dramatically, or should I just leave it like this? So tell me what you think. I would love to hear your opinion and why you think that. It would kind of help me to make up my mind whether or not I want to go further with this or not, or just lock the lid in, or the door in, and put the saddle on it and forget it and just put it on the shelf. So anyway, I think it's a cool idea. It really is a cool use of both this, which I would never use for what it was made for anyway, because of the way it's designed, but also I took something else and put them together to make something that's really out of the box. So if you have any comments or questions about it, just leave them below. Any ideas? I'd love to hear your opinion about what to do about this. So give it some thought. Let me know what you think. Now, since this is a rambling day, I just wanted to show you one more thing. If you remember back, Medusa, on the back of her, I have these little magnets. So I bought magnets. They're 1.25 inch, 1/8 inch thick, and it was a pack of 15 of them. And this is the package here that they came in. So I took 3 of them and used them on the lights. And as you can see, this package has them in here, and it has a styrofoam here with the little sticky pieces that go on each magnet in between there. So this just sets inside this box of this styrofoam, which sets in the box like so, and is shut and locked up. So it's been sitting on my bench, and had been playing with this off and on. If you've ever played with magnets, they are a lot of fun. But I cannot believe just how strong this darn thing really is. Check this out. So I'm going to set this up, and I now have this at, it's about 7 inches from the end of the ruler, just to give you the idea of how far away. And I had this magnet here. This is the 4th magnet. So there's 11 magnets still in there. And this was the first one I took out, and it accidentally got away from me when I was too close. And just like they warned, it shattered as soon as it slammed against the others and broke it. So I'll use it eventually on some kind of magnet for a refrigerator decor, but we'll see. Anyway, check this out. So if I put this down right here at the end of the ruler, I'm at 7 inches. Watch what happens here. I'm at 5.5 inches. Man, is that a powerful magnet. I still cannot believe how strong this magnet is. And it's hard to get off there once it gets on there. Look out. So, but even if you take something metal, non-magnetic, and I put this here, check this out. There's 5. There's 4. Unbelievable. It's 2 inches away and it went up there. Now, earlier today I did that. I don't know why I didn't this time, but it actually, there it goes. That's at 4.5 inches. And it already 4.5 inches away, and it pulled it. So anyway, this thing is just amazing. And sometimes if I set it down too close to where I'm doing some other things, you got to watch out, because all of a sudden you got stuff stuck everywhere on this thing. And so I got to put these away. I haven't yet, but I've been playing with them. And I tell you what, I still love playing with magnets, even though I used to do it all the time when I was a kid. But these rare earth, look out. I may have to make some kind of toy with this before I'm done, and see how I can make some kind of toy that kids can play with the magnets safely. Because, boy, I tell you one thing you don't want to do is get between 2 of those magnets with a finger. That'll hurt. It'd be like putting your finger down and hitting it with a hammer. If it way broke that magnet, if my finger had been in between there, that would have hurt. So, anyway, magnets are fun. I think that's about it. I hope I didn't ramble on too much. I just wanted to go over a couple of quick things. More than anything, it was the name. He asked me a question, and I had no idea how to answer that in a comment, so I decided just to do a video about that. And since I'm rambling, you know me. If you have any comments, any suggestions, any ideas of which way I should go with this, or maybe something I hadn't thought of yet, let me know. Leave them in the comments, especially if you haven't left a comment for a while. I'd love to hear from you about this, see what you think. So, anyway, if you like this video or you learned something here, hit that like button. At least it lets me know that I'm doing the right thing around here. So, but most importantly, please come back again, because quite honestly, I'm nowhere near done, as the sign says. Thanks, and we'll see you again very soon.